Southern California, Angeles National Forest, Bigfoot.
What is cool about this is you can definitely see the delineation of some of the muscles in the back, especially the trapezius and some of the lower back muscles. This is kind of astonishing now because we're getting more and more proof that Bigfoot does travel from Canada to Mexico back to Canada, and he does stop off at some point in Los Angeles. Now we don't know if this is the.
Now I'm wondering, is that migration for purposes? I mean, food or just getting into the higher elevations where it's colder? Do they need that? Is that part of their structure? Their well balanced living? Is it getting into that higher elevation? Just at a higher level, the elevation affects you in different ways, and maybe a creature that size, it drawn internally to, different parts of the country.
Why it has to go from Canada to Mexico? What is that something just that has been doing for centuries and it's just kind of instilled in it?
That could certainly be like the whales migrate to Mexico to birth their calves. I mean, it certainly could be something just internal, an internal mechanism.
And it's interesting, if Bigfoot does travel the Pacific crest from Mexico to Canada and vice versa, but now we're starting to realize it might be setting up shop, so to speak, in Los Angeles, or north of Los Angeles.
Well, I would only assume that Bigfoot's going to set up shop where there's the most abundant food. Now, that could be in the Angeles National Forest. We don't know.
This is so close to Los Angeles, and of course you have the movie industry in Los Angeles, and there's a lot of people trying to get personhood for different animals like apes, and what that means is give apes special status. Apes like chimpanzees,
Well,
bonobos.
let me ask you, does personhood mean that an ape or a chimpanzee is on the same level as myself or my neighbor or my brother? Or
not yet, but
is it going in that direction? Is that what the movement is all about?
Well, let's talk about personhood because it affects Bigfoot, it affects chimps, and it's going to affect everybody someday. So let's talk about more of that in the next episode.